walk up there and thank Angela for doing this for you?
That's right. She's over there taking pictures too.
She showed up on here. She was right here.
Oh, cool.
So you'll see that.
Yeah, she took me yesterday to the. Did we tell you that already? Up at we met that guy that was from Roswell.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on a second. Claire. Aaron, how much do you weigh?
220. Are we maxing the thing out?
She told me 210.
Oh. Yeah.
But that's all right. I accounted for that.
Yeah.
You know, women will now. I mean, they tell me what their weight is, and it's pretty close. You know, and guys, I had a guy that his wife said, "Oh, he's 215, 220. He got in here, was way more than me.
Yeah.
267 or something, you know?
Yeah, you're going, hey, the guys don't care. We're like, yeah, that's what our weight is.
Yeah.
And with aviation, man, I worked for American Airlines. My brother still works for American Airlines. And when we do weight calculations for the aircraft, you have to be on the money. I mean, it's no guess. You know, it'll flip the plane clean over and land it on the top if you don't get the weights right. So yeah, I don't joke about that stuff when we're flying.
All right, I'm going to turn the radio on so I can hear what the weather is before I talk to the tower. It's called ATIS.
Double Eagle 2 Tower, ATIS information November, time 1249er Zulu. Wind variable at 4, visibility 10. Few clouds at 5,000. Temperatures 9er, dew point 7. Altimeter is 3028. Visual approach in use. Landing and departing runway 22. Use caution for wildlife on or near all airport surfaces. Advise on initial contact. You have information November. Double Eagle 2 Tower, ATIS information November, time 1249er Zulu. Wind variable at 4, visibility 10. Few clouds at 5,000. Temperatures 9er, dew point 7. Altimeter is 30.
All right, your helmet on and strap down.
Helmet's good. Strap's good.
How about seatbelts on and good?
Seatbelt's good.
Okay.
Good to go.
Okay. Good morning, Double Eagle ground. Trike 364 is on the Bodie ramp, ready to taxi to 22 via, if I can use Alpha 1, that'd be great. And I am with November, and I'm going to depart the pattern to the northwest.
Trike 364, Double Eagle ground, roger, runway 22, taxi via Alpha 1, and wind's now variable at 4.
Roger, 364, taxiing to 22 via Alpha 1. Can you see pretty good?
Oh yeah, I can see great.
See any, well, do you understand these signs, what they're for and stuff, and what the lines and all that stuff's for? If you want to know, I'll tell you. If you don't care, I won't tell you.
You know, yeah, you can if you want to. You know, they never really tell us as far as what I know they have to do with the actual position where the plane's supposed to be and taking off the runway and all that kind of stuff. But I've never really paid attention other than what was going on with. Yeah. Anyways.
All right, hang on. I got to test my mags.
Okay.
Okay, we're good to go there.
All right.
All right, so let me call the tower and tell them we're ready to go. Yeah, this is telling me the runway's here and we're on the entryway, and these lines up here, if they're on this side, you can't cross unless you've got permission from the tower.
Okay.
Good morning, Double Eagle Tower. Trike 364 is on Alpha 1, ready to depart 22 to the northwest.
Trike 364, Double Eagle Tower, wind 330 at 4 after departure, right turn on course is approved, runway 22, cleared for takeoff.
Okay, 364 departing 22 northwest. I'll see you in about an hour.
I bet this thing gets lift quick, doesn't it?
Well, it depends on how heavy you are,
That's true. So.
how much fuel I've got.
Yeah. Might take us 20, 30 minutes to get off the ground, or is that what you're
Oh,
saying?
no. You ready?
Yeah.
It won't take long.
All right.
Got a little bit of a tailwind.
Capline 60 Juliet Bravo, Double Eagle ground, roger, runway 22 taxi via taxiway Alpha 1.
That's great. All the military choppers.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw those other choppers that were farther down. But when we come in, you'll see them. They're older ones. Well, they're farther down over there by those other hangars. And we were looking at those the other day, and they're Russian.
Oh, neat.
They were built in 1989, and they're. It's interesting because they've got experimental identification on them. You know, they've got an N number on them, but they're classified experimental.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, you know, they can't do any kind of, what do they call it, firefighting and stuff like that because they get paid for that. So
Right.
it's not a commercial aircraft.
Oh.
So,
Yeah, the ones we saw the other day, they looked like brand spanking new, and they had a star and moon on them. And the guys that came out and told us to stop taking photographs of them when we were with that the guy at Roswell.
yeah.
And anyways, he just it was really bizarre to see him because they definitely weren't U.S. and they didn't want us to take any pictures of them at all. And,
Were there a lot of them?
yeah, there's probably 15 or 20 of them sitting out there, and they had brand spanking new pavement down for them, but it was right smack in the middle of the boneyard where American Airlines dumps all their old aircraft. So it was odd, real odd placement to see 20 brand spanking new military helicopters from, you know, a different country. So
I wonder if they're storing them there or if they're being trained down there.
you know, that's what I was wondering was training, but the guys that came out and were kind of
Morning, Double Eagle Tower, Decathlon, November 60, Juliet Bravo, Alpha 1, ready for departure VFR westbound.
Decathlon 60 Juliet Bravo, Double Eagle Tower, good morning. After departure, right turn on course is approved. The wind is 340 at 3, runway 22, cleared for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, 22, right turn out, 0 Juliet Bravo.
It's a little bumpy this morning.
yeah, a little bumpy. I was noticing that. It's not too bad. But so the guys that came out that were complaining about the pictures were the guy had a full beard, real long hair, and so did the other guy that came out was they definitely weren't active military. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or if they were active military, the only active military I'm aware of that can have the beards and all that kind of stuff are the special forces types of guys. So
Yeah.
I'm like, well, you know, as being Roswell and the state of weird, you know, that would be. So I was like, well, I don't know, because they were all, Angela and the guy that was doing the tour was pretty darn sure it was active military, and I'm going, well, I don't think so. I've never seen active military, full beards, long hair, all that, just that you don't see it.
I know.
So, and then they were taking pictures of us in a secretive kind of way. The guy was walking behind trucks and vehicles that we couldn't see him around on the other side.
Wow.
But I caught a glimpse of him, and he had his camera down at his waist, and he was snapping them off. As soon as he realized I'd spotted him, he'd taken the camera off. I was like, wow, that's just weird.
Yeah.
So,
That is weird. But you know, I'll tell you a couple of things that one of my favorite stories about flying these trikes.
yeah,
I had a guy that came in from, there's a nice little town north of here, about 4 hours north of here. It's called Angel Fire, New Mexico.
yeah,
And he bought my Groupon. He came down here, and I usually give him, you know, I ask questions. I asked Angela about, you know, what you're going to want to do, and, you know, what do you want to see? What would be fun for you? You know, that kind of stuff. And this guy, I asked this guy.
Trike 364, frequency change is approved. Adios.
Roger, 364, frequency change approved, and I'll be on frequency. So he says, so I say to him, what do you want to do? And so we're flying, and I said to him, now can you see up here? Can you see this?
Cap on 0 Juliet Bravo.
That number there?
yeah.
That
Thanks
number,
much. See you in a bit, 0 Juliet Bravo.
that number is our altitude, okay? See the letter right next to it?
I can't see that there is one.
All
I
right.
can't make it out.
It says 54 degrees,
Oh, wow.
okay? I mean, 54 mile an hour is what it says.
Okay.
So,
And Eagle Tower, Air 1 ready for departure to the northwest.
so this guy says, that, you know, he wants to, I said, you want to fly high and see a lot of stuff?
13404, altimeter 3029, departure from the ramp will be your own risk.
Air 1.
So this guy says, no, I don't want to fly high, but, you know, I'd sort of like to see, you know, get a sightseeing tour and stuff. I said, you want to fly it? He goes, yeah, let's fly it. So I taught him that, and I'm going up here. You see that where it says 66 now? That's our altitude above the ground.
Right.
And then this 52 is what our airspeed is.
Right.
Okay? And our airspeed, you know what airspeed is versus ground speed?
No,
Okay. I should say this is our ground speed. And if you look forward, lean ahead, you see this gauge over here on the right?
Oh, yeah, got it.
That's our airspeed,
Okay.
okay? That's important while we're flying, but so you don't stall and you stay within the parameters of the. Are you cold, by the way?
Oh, no, I'm good. Actually, I'm pretty. It's chilly. I've hit my. Riding motorcycles, you have that point where you get max chill and then you're good. And if you're good at max cold, then you're good.
So this guy, I'm explaining to this guy about the airspeed and ground speed and stuff like that. And he goes, oh, yeah, I understand that, you know. And I'll explain all that to you here in a minute after I tell you my story.
Okay.
And so we're flying. He's having a great time. He's loving it and that. And we're done. We come back to the FBO back there where I met you guys at. And we're out there, and we're in there, and his wife hands him this envelope. He reaches in this envelope, and he grabs a pen out of his pocket, and he signs his name to this, or he was writing something on it, you know? And I didn't know what it was, and he handed it to me, and it was a picture of an SR-71. This guy was the backseat pilot, the navigator in a SR-71. You know what that is, right?
The SR-71, I've heard it. What is the...
It's the Blackbird.
Oh, the Blackbird. Oh, yeah, I know a lot about that.
600 crews.
Yeah.
Only 150 people like him have flown in
that plane.
In that plane.
Yeah, that's an NSA kind of plane right there.
Oh, yeah.
That's funny. I heard a radio... They didn't identify themselves as the Blackbird, but when they, you may have heard that too, where they were, it was a radio conversation. Cessna was talking about his airspeed and all that, and then there was a guy that was in like a Lear that goes by, and he's bragging about it.
Yeah.
And then you hear these two guys chirp in on the Blackbird, and they give their cruising speed. And
Thank you, Eric Irwin.
Yeah, I read that, I heard that. That was so cool.
It was. I was like, that is so funny.
So this guy's sitting in there, and I said, well, you SOB, here I am talking about airspeed and ground speed, and you've exceeded the speed of sound three times faster than the speed of sound. And then he started talking to me. He was giving me, telling me about some of the stories that he did. He said he took off from Beale Air Force Base in California and flew to Spain, and then flew back to Beale and did that in 9 hours.
Wow.
They fly over 3 Mach or Mach 3.
Yeah, that's a really neat plane. We were talking about how things, they only work when they're being flown or driven the way they're supposed to be or designed to be,
Yeah.
And that plane leaks oil and all kinds of other things when it's just sitting there idling. It's just awful. And as far as mechanically, you'd think it was just a piece of crap when you're seeing the taxi. And but once it gets to speed, everything pops into place, and it's just like what you were saying, one of a kind. There is nothing like it.
Yeah, I was just so cool to meet this guy.
Oh, I bet.
He gave me this picture, and he signed it, autographed it for me. He knew that I was an aviation enthusiast.
Yeah.
And he did that.
That's amazing. That's really nice of him.
Oh yeah. And here he is, shuts up, and he's sitting back there, and he told me that what they used to do is when they'd have to eat astronaut food, and what he would do while they're on their missions is they'd get the astronaut food out, and he'd hold it up against the window in the plane, and it was 300 degrees out there on the other side,
Yeah,
and,
so it'd heat up the food real
and
fast.
they would, and that's how they'd heat their food.
That's funny. Yeah, talking about the elevation, I don't mind flying low too. I kind of like seeing the landscape and all that. This is a pretty good height, really. It's not too high, not too low. You can really kind of see stuff down there.
But we'll get low when we get down there or over in that way.
Okay.
I want to stay. We usually get some, over in this area, we'll get some turbulence and stuff. And when I